I'm gonna talk about something that is that I'm calling the 5 growing possibilities, and I'm gonna explain to you what that is on this podcast. But before I do so, I want you to understand that this is going to be a way for you as a business owner, or a brand new business owner, or if you're just now thinking about starting a business and you're listening to this podcast, this is for you too. This message is going to help you to expand what is truly possible in your business. And I'm going to help you to do that and help you to walk away with some tactical things that you can do today after listening to this short podcast. So just a quick backstory. Over the last 2 weeks, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. I've never experienced these 3 things in a 2-week period in my entire life. And those 3 things are my best friend. We had a sudden death of his father, and of his stepfather, and was just really an emotional thing last week. And then this week, I went to my cousin's wedding out in Ohio. My cousin Nick was getting married, so flew out there with my little guy Hudson. My wife couldn't make it because she's 32 weeks pregnant. Flew out there, and we experienced an amazing wedding. And then while I was out there, one of our clients named Sarvar gave birth to his second son named Shaz. So shout out to little man Shaz. He's beautiful. And so 3 different events in 2 weeks: a funeral, a wedding, and the birth of a new child. I mean, the birth of a new child and the funeral, those are the polar opposites of the spectrum, right? And then a wedding, that's celebrating somebody starting their life with another person. It's a beautiful thing to be able to experience, right? So I experienced those roller coaster of emotions over the last 2 weeks, and man, like I just couldn't help. There was one line that kept going through my head over and over and over again. And I truly felt like it was God telling me that I need to share this message with you all. And that message is, you have the license to think big. If you're listening to this podcast, you're a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, a speech language pathologist, a chiropractor. You graduated from school and you got a license. Most of us spent a lot of money to get it, right? After you get that license, lots of times we're thrown into a box. We're thrown into the sandbox, and we have to operate under a certain way of doing things when we work for another company. And my message to you today, and I'm going to give you something with the 5 expanding possibilities that I'm going to help you to expand what's possible in your life and help you to think bigger. But I want you to first understand that you have the license to think big as a clinician. We are thinking too small as a profession. We are thinking too small in healthcare of what truly is possible and what we can truly do to help our clients, our patients, and the people that we care about. As a business owner, you have the license to think big, to expand what is possible, to push beyond what is possible, and push healthcare forward. Healthcare is very stagnant. I think most of you can agree with that, right? Healthcare is broken. How many times have we heard that? And I truly believe that it is. But I believe that people that listen to this podcast and people that are becoming uncaged clinicians and doing things in a different way and providing service to clients in a different way that they deserve is what's going to truly change healthcare. And so we're starting on this platform of understanding that, hey, we have this license. We have this license to think big. We better be using it in a way where we can expand this profession and grow this profession and push this profession forward. This profession is no longer men and women in khakis and polo shirts. It is so much more than the old school style of physical therapy where most citizens of the US and across the world just see PTs and OTs as someone that you see after surgery, or that your doctor provides a prescription for your services after a surgery. That's not what it is. And we're expanding the definition of what is possible in rehab. And you as a business owner, you have the responsibility on your shoulders, even more so. If you're starting your own business, you have to be the leader You're the leader of your business and you're the leader of our profession to move it forward and expand what is possible. So you've got the license to think big. How can we think bigger? That's the big question on this podcast that I wanted to address. How can we, as a group of uncaged clinicians, think bigger? And so if you're driving right now, or you're on a treadmill, or you're running, I don't want you to do this, but if you are sitting and you're able to, I want you to pull out a pen and paper. If you're running or you're driving or you're lifting weights, whatever it may be, I just want you to think it in your head. Or if you're lifting weights, drop the weights between sets and jot this down if you've got something. And so I just want you to thinking about those three things that I went through over the last 2 weeks: the funeral, the wedding, the birth of a new child, of a friend's child. It got me thinking about my own journey and what do I want to be known for in this life? And that's the same question that I want to ask you guys. What do you want to be known for in this life? And then secondly, what do you want your crowning achievements to be? That was one that really got me, especially after doing a celebration of someone's life. What do you want your crowning achievements to be? If you're a business owner, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than make $1 million a year. There's so much more to life than that. That's okay if that's what you want, but what do you want your crowning achievements to be? The things that people talk about at your funeral, at your celebration of life. What do you want that to be? What do you want the crowning achievement for your business to be? So think about these in two separate areas. What do you want the crowning achievement for your life to be? What do you want the crowning achievement for your business to be? I want to wait for you guys to jot those down, and then we're going to get into what I'm calling the 5 expanding possibilities. And I've got an amazing coach of 5 years. His name is Danny Ballard, business coach in Denver, Colorado, and love the guy to death. And he has been an absolute amazing mentor to me. And something that he has always told me, he said, Josh, I feel like I can coach with just one single question. And that single question is, what else is possible? So I want you to take those 2 crowning achievements, that life crowning achievement and that business crowning achievement. And I want you to ask yourself, what else is possible? So hopefully you wrote that crowning achievement at the top of the paper. And then I want you to just write on the left-hand side, what else is possible, and bring it down to that line and write, what else is possible beyond that crowning achievement? What more is possible? Then after you've got an answer for that, I want you to do the same thing. Go down to the next line and say, what else is possible? And the answer to the previous line, you're going to look at that one. And so let's say you said, hey, I want to grow $1 million a year practice. That was your first crowning achievement for business. And then what else is possible is asked, and you say, well, I want to create the best physical therapy practice, concierge physical therapy practice in Texas. Okay, great. What else is possible beyond that? So you're going to continue to do this exercise 5 times. That's the 5 expanding possibilities. And then you're going to get to a really, really big thought. And that's what we're searching for. I want you to ask this question 5 different times and go through this exercise. So if you're running or driving a car and you're just thinking about this, I want you to take the time to go through this podcast and listen to me in my voice one more time and go through this exercise, because it's going to be ridiculously powerful. What else is possible 5 times? And then we're going to get to a really, really big thought. And I want you to look at those really, really big thoughts for your life and for your business. They may be similar or they may be entirely different, which can give you some insights as well. And then I want you to ask yourself, I want you to circle it on your piece of paper or write it on a separate one. And I want you to look at that final crowning achievement that you get to and ask yourself, how do I need to start thinking? What do I need to start doing to achieve that in my life? It's going to help you to think differently. It's going to help you to think bigger. It's going to help you to truly act on your license to think big in our profession.